Good evening, everybody. This is Charles Vest. I'm calling from sunny San Diego, California, and it is my privilege and honor to be the host of this call, your call tonight. And this is a call that is going to be an introduction of some sorts to someone that you guys already have heard many times as a host on the call. You've had a chance to, hear his wit and his wisdom, and now the tables are going to be turned, and I get an opportunity to interview the famous David Green. And what's going to happen is I have a couple questions that I've put together here, and David, I am going to ask you, and we're going to kind of go back and forth, and I'm letting everybody know on this call. This call's only going to take about 20-25 minutes, and these questions are questions that I actually put together because of a conversation that I had last night with David. I was getting to know him, and we were just kind of, getting to know each other, and I realized there's such a wealth of information that he has. I have a little bit of information, and so many people are asking the question, how do we build Laguna Blends? And so if you are brand new to this call, there's a call on Monday and there's a call on Wednesday, and the Monday call kind of talks about Laguna Blends and the amazing products that we have, and then and the opportunity. And Wednesday's call is a little more of an educational call. If this is your first call with Laguna Blends, it's perfect timing for you because you get to really hear behind the scenes. You get to really hear what's the things that make us tick, what makes us special, what makes us unique, and it's going to help you to really make an educated decision. So thank you for being here if this is your first time. And it is now my honor to introduce to you Mr. David Green. Are you there?
I am here, Charles, and thank you very much for the lovely introduction and great job as Master of Ceremonies.
Master of Ceremonies, boy, that sounds pretty official. Well, thank you very much, and I've listened to you do the Master of Ceremonies, that process over and over, and you're the best at it, but I'm just do the best I can. I just kind of where I fail in technique, I'll override with passion and excitement. So you won't have to worry about that. So what we're going to do here, David, is I'm going to give just a little bit of introduction about you. Everybody already kind of knows that you're the number one income earner here at Laguna Blends, and you're the number one recruiter, and you're the number one this and that, and we kind of know that about you. But I learned a lot of things about the techniques that you have and the system that you use, and just the many years of knowledge that you have obtained from the very best in the industry. And folks, this is a clue. Please take note. This is a clue. Even though you guys are just getting started, or maybe you've had some time in this industry, it's really the things that you can pick up, those nuggets that you can pick up along the way, and use those in your daily lives, in your daily aspect of being a Laguna Blends rep and a Laguna Blends affiliate. That's where you really start to develop magic, and David's been able to do that by the education he's had. So, David, can you tell us a little bit about how did you get started in this industry, this crazy, cool industry of network marketing? What was like one of the first products that you got a chance to be an affiliate with?
Sure, absolutely. And by the way, even after 26 and a half years in this profession, I'm still learning. I still mess up every single day, and just trial and error over and over and over again. But just being consistent about being consistent regarding my efforts each and every day. Yeah, back in 1990, soon after my college days in North Carolina, is when I got into, when I learned about the network marketing profession. Many of you know out there and have heard this story, but many have not as well. One Sunday morning when I was living in Atlanta, I was working for a tennis retailer at the time, apparel, equipment, et cetera, doing okay financially, and just sifting through the Atlanta Journal-Constitution classified section, if we all remember classified sections, and if we all remember newspapers. And one Sunday morning, I stumbled upon an ad that said, are you earning what you're worth, in big, bold print? And I kind of whispered to myself, no, I'm not. So I continued to read the ad, and it made sense, and it was very interesting, and it said, call this 24-hour hotline. So I did. And what I heard on that 90-second message really grabbed my attention. I left my name and number as instructed, and the following day I get a call back from a gentleman. I had no idea who he was, by the name of Mark Yarnell. And long story short, Mark Yarnell is, if there was a Mount Rushmore for the network marketing profession, his face would definitely be carved into the mountain. And, he was recently passed away early last year, and just one of the best ever in this entire profession. Everything from A to Z he was a master of, in my opinion. So I was very fortunate enough to be introduced to this business model, this profession from Mark. And so we met that day. He called me the following day. We met later in the afternoon. We talked for a little bit, got to know each other, and told me a little bit about the business. And then he kind of zipped it and popped in a VHS videotape, and obviously that's 1990 for you. And by the time that video was over, I was introduced to my first company. I don't know if you want me to mention it or not, but it was very. It was in the personal care products, skincare arena at that time, and. When that video was over, I was 99.99% on board, and if not 100%. And here I am, 26 and a half years later, love the profession more than ever. And obviously, this company, right now, the first 25 and a half years before I learned about Laguna Blends now seems like a dress rehearsal.
Well, a lot of things have kind of popped up in my head as you shared your story, and I just want you to know that your phone is a little bit crackly, so I don't know if it's on my end or not, but just in case, if there's a way that you can fix that, that'd be awesome. But here's what I heard. You were recruited many years ago by one of the absolute legends in this industry. And the reason why I bring that up, folks, if you want to read a really good book, it's written by Mark Yarnell, and it's called Your First Year in Network Marketing. And it really does show that if you can have a simple system, and that system that he used way back when, having someone call back from an ad or from something that they saw online or actually that was offline at the time, that system accounted for hundreds of thousands of people just like us that saw something that sparked a nerve. And I'm going to say it a couple times in this call. People buy from people. Okay, not from a computer, not from an ad. They buy from people, and they want to hear you, and not you, Mr. Professional. You, just someone that actually has 2 ears and 1 mouth, as opposed to the other way around, right? And so this is a perfect example, and I know that you are using the same similar system that kind of hooked you in the beginning. You're using the same similar system, and I want people to hear this because a lot of people think, David, that you have to have a bunch of websites and landing pages and, understand Facebook, all the demographics and all the behind-the-scenes stuff in order to grow your business. And that's absolutely the opposite of what you do, isn't it?
Totally. I guess you can say I'm old, modern day old school, so to speak. You're totally right, and capture pages. That doesn't build a business, in my opinion. A lot of the old school techniques and really good old fashioned talking to people, getting to know people, whether it's war market, or people coming at you from an ad or what have you, you still got to talk to people. When emails came out in the late 90s, so many people thought, I could just send an email to 95 gazillion opportunity seekers every 5 minutes and just, put my feet up on the desk, light up a stogie, and I'm going to get rich. And, I think we all tried that for 5 minutes, but we realized that wasn't going to work. And so, the old school basic techniques, the fundamentals will never, ever, ever go out of style. Obviously, the newspapers are, a dinosaur now, so I do some more things online where people see my, ads and so forth. And, but at the same time, war market, your circle of influence, your Rolodex, whatever you want to call it, is very important for the newbie, for the rookie, for the new person in a company in this profession. But at the same time, obviously I came in to the profession through an ad, and that's what I know, and that's what I have somewhat perfected, I guess you can say, all these years later.
Let me ask you this question, that same line of thought. Here's a question that I know is on a lot of people's minds right now. Are there still people looking for an opportunity?
Oh, yes. You wouldn't believe. And the quality of people. People who have tremendous track records of accomplishment, people with, not just educational degrees and so forth, but people with real business savvy and business skills and business accomplishments. They're looking, all age groups, but especially the 40s, 50s, and they don't want to go back to corporate America. They don't want to, they're looking for more time freedom, more personal freedom. They don't want to be interviewed by someone half their age and who's afraid to hire the more experienced person because they're afraid the more experienced person's name is going to be on the marquee across the street in 6 to 9 months. So, there's so many people out there looking for a better way, people who realize that the days of working for the XYZ company for 40 years and being treated to a gold watch, a cheap bottle of wine, and a not-so-delicious retirement dinner are a thing of the past.
Right. Well, this has been very... I love the fact that you still use old school ways, and I want to let you guys know. I heard a lot of people. I don't know you, like I don't know Bill and Laura, or Daniel, or I know about Tony and Tatiana, but a lot of you guys are here, and some of you are actually using new school technology. You're using landing pages and you're using ads, but I just want to make sure that the person who's listening for maybe the first time, what I want you to walk away with is there are some components that are absolutely necessary to still grow your business, and they're all here at Laguna Blends. If you want to just sit down at a Starbucks and have your product sitting out there and put your coffee right there in front of their coffee, you can go for it. There's nothing better than what's called knees to knees, okay? That's just you meeting someone and buying them a cup of coffee and sharing about, what you're excited about. But there's a lot of ways to get that person through the door. And so I just wanted to start this off by letting people know, David Green, #1 recruiter, top guy in the company, still does things the old school way, the same way that he was found. And so, David, what I want to do is, because of the time, I want to get through this part. We were talking about, we were answering the question, both of us together last night, and the question is what are the 5 crucial things that need to be in place for a new network marketing, direct sales, product-based company? What do they need? What does it take to be successful? And I asked it that way, but then we came up with 5 things, and I want to go over those 5 things because, folks, if you want to know if Laguna Blends is the right company at the right place at the right time, you're going to find out that answer really quick here. And so, David, are you ready to kind of go back and forth?
I am totally ready, but I just want to take 7 seconds and just touch on one thing you said about people working the business different ways. You're totally right. This company, unlike a lot of companies, and that's really true, we really do give you a lot of wiggle room to build the business your way, focusing on your strengths, working on your weaknesses. Because remember, everybody, this is not a one-size-fits-all business, so we really give you a lot of wiggle room as long as you're not out there making crazy claims on product and making promises of overnight fame and fortune. We really did give you a lot of room to build your business. Just wanted to toss that in there.
Well, David, you told me I was going to be an overnight success. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Hey, so you guys ready? So we're gonna go over really quick the 5 things that we found, that we discussed, are the crucial things that you need to be successful. And the first thing that we came to a conclusion on, and it's not necessarily in this order, but the first thing we came to a conclusion on is that the company needs to have money. If you only got $500 in your account, you're probably not going to be able to start a multi $100 million network marketing direct sales company, just a hope and a prayer. You got to have money to pay for resources and things. And one of the things that I saw is that this is one of the very, very few network marketing companies that actually is publicly traded. What does that mean to you, David?
It means a heck of a lot more now than it would have meant to me years ago. And especially this young of a company. A lot of companies maybe start out private and then eventually become public. Sometimes maybe they just stay private, whatever. But, we've only been open for business 5.5 months. The company was in the works for 2 years prior. And being this young, but being totally transparent, publicly traded on 3 different boards, one in Canada, one here in the States, and one over in Europe, that's pretty powerful. That just doesn't happen every single day and come down the pike every single day in this profession. And, talking with Stuart Gray 1.5 million times before we opened for business in March, when I learned about the company back in the late spring of 2015, and, just seeing where we're going and going with my gut feeling and seeing the evolvement of the of the websites, and everything else from A to Z. We're just going in the right direction. I sleep very well at night knowing that this company is well-funded, well-run, and everything else from A to Z is, thumbs up in my opinion.
Absolutely. Very well said. And, folks, I've been part of companies that were not well funded, and you really are hoping and praying that, because if you have, even if you have really great people and you have a great product, if you don't have the money to, do marketing and get the right people in and all that stuff, actually, be prepared for anything that might happen in the future. Like, sometimes, product is stuck at the border because of a shipping situation, and you got to have money to do that. So awesome that this company has money. It's publicly traded, and everyone's, I don't know if you guys saw, but I saw that another chunk of money just came in, and it was a press release and all that, and so it's really good to see that happening. People are really starting to find out more about us. Number 2 on your sheet of the 5 things the company needs, we just talked about it. It's got to have great products. And we don't need to go long into these great products because, we talk about them over and over again. But I just want to reiterate, and then I'd like for you just to kind of add on to it. If you have a product that is new, cutting-edge products, it's not going to work unless you can back it up with some real documentation, some real testimonials, some real clinical studies, and that's what we have here. We got products that no one's ever seen before, and I know you guys are noticing that. There's coffee, but, how many coffees do you see that have this amazing hemp protein in it? You're not going to find it out there. This is what's new and exciting and cutting edge. We have things that are coming out in the skincare line, we're literally days away, and it has a compound called CBD in it, and you're not going to find that out there. This is rare stuff, but the most important thing is documentation, right? We have real documentation to back our products. We have real testimonials, real clinical studies and trials, and to me, being a person from the outside, looking for, the right things that a company has to have. When I saw the products and I saw that this was not a Me Too, this is a really a unique bleeding edge company in some respects. That got me real excited. How about you, David?
Oh, no doubt about it. And in addition to the quality and the testing behind it and all the research out there on hemp and, obviously CBD with the cannaceuticals coming out, 2 things. One, the products, even what we have out now, let alone the cannaceuticals, the packaging on the products looks pretty good, and I think that even goes back to money because, my first company, it was the stuff was in like a white plastic bottle with a bumper sticker wrapped around it with the company name and the name of the product on it. This stuff, the Cafe and the Pro 369, the packaging, the outside and, the boxes as well as the packaging themselves just looks amazing. And also, it's priced for the masses, which is very important these days. A lot of people think, products in network marketing, direct sales, what have you, are inflated. But here, there really are priced for the masses. You take the Cafe, for example, $1.49, per cup per serving. And, who would have thunk quote unquote, that people would be standing in line years ago for $4, $5, and $6 cups of coffee, not bottles of coffee, $4, $5, and $6 cups of coffee with zero nutritional value, almost negative nutritional value for most of it. Present day, but we've got something that's tremendous price, tremendous value, that's healthy for you, and the Pro 369 is well priced for the masses. It's tremendous quality, and what we've got coming out is just dynamite.
I love what you say about the packaging. I'm so glad you added that because when a product gets ordered, you have this kind of excitement level, and folks, you're going to order the Canaceutical line, for instance, or maybe you haven't tried the 369 product. But when you order the Canaceutical line, it's going to show up, and I've seen the packaging of that, and I've seen the containers, and you're going to realize right off the bat you're going to be extremely proud to put these products right on the front of your, countertops, and you're not going to leave them in the bathroom, right? They're going to be like in your living room on the mantle because these are beautifully, crafted bottles. They have this real elegant look to them. You guys, it really does make a difference when you're real proud to display your products out there. So, products is number 2. Number 3 that we talked about, and I don't know if we should even talk too much about it, it's people. Everyone on this line, you've been handpicked. You literally have been handpicked, and I say that because a company that really hasn't even pre-launched. I think pre-launch is coming up in September. So a company that hasn't even done an official pre-launch. Anytime they have a conference call, anytime that they're looking for people to try the products out, get it tested, you guys are handpicked out. And so, I've talked to Tony, and I've talked to Tatiana, and of course I've talked to you, Dave, and I've had lots of time and meetings with Ray Grimm, and I just noticed a difference. There's something special about the people here, and you had an opportunity to talk to the guy at the top, right, Stuart. And I would just like for you, just for a couple minutes here, tell us about your impression of Stuart.
From the very first conversation last spring to present day, it's just been magnificent. I sleep very well at night, like I said earlier, knowing who's at the helm of the company, Ray included now as of, several months back. And, my first conversation with Stuart, let's head back to the spring of 2015. I stumbled upon the press release online, and it mentioned something about Laguna blends. And I'm like, okay, here I am in South Orange County, surrounded by 4 towns with the name Laguna in them. And I'm thinking, okay, I can go take a short drive over to headquarters and meet the gang. And then I, read the press release and realized, okay, it's a long drive to Kelowna, British Columbia, Western Canada. So I decided to call instead, smart choice. And about an hour and a half later, I get a call from Stuart. I pull my car over, and 2.5 hours later, the last thing I said to him before goodbye was, hey, when you guys open up shop, whenever that is, count me in. And, that was 8 to 9 months before we opened up shop on March 7th in the U.S. and Canada simultaneously, which that alone is, doesn't happen. It just does not happen. But we're a different animal, a different breed. So, but the conversation just went so well. Personally, personal stuff, business stuff. I felt extremely comfortable within minutes after talking to him, while talking to him.
So I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was just so excited. Are you telling me that you called and the owner, the president, I don't know, is he CEO of the company? Is that his official title? This person who is at the top of the food chain here calls you back and spends 2.5 hours on a conversation with you.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, of course, when I left my message, I did mention I've been in the profession a few years, and, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But, yeah, at that time, he was CEO. He had every title, including night janitor, at that time.
Well, that says a lot. That says a whole bunch about him, and it wasn't just a quick call. It was a 2.5-hour call. And one of the things you said to me last night, and then we'll move on to the fourth thing. But one of the things you said to me last night, I'm going to tee you up for it because it had such an impact for me. And folks, listen to this. what did you say after I said, I haven't had a chance to really get to know Stuart? What is the one thing you can tell me about Stuart that is consistently, that happens all the time? What was it that you said?
Oh, my God, I'm trying to, I know it was something good. Can you nudge me a little and give me a hint?
I can remind you. You said, I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah, because both of our minds were, toast at the end of that call last night.
Here's what you said. I wrote it down. You said that everything that Stuart Gray has
yes.
said. Go ahead and finish it for me.
Yes, everything that Stuart Gray has said to me from that very first conversation way back in the spring of 2015 to the late summer of 2016, everything he has said, everything, has either come to fruition or is in the midst of coming to fruition, and that is more than enough coming from the head honcho of the company. That suits me just fine.
That's an amazing testament to the leadership, because you've had plenty of time to call him on it, right? Hey,
oh yeah, and I'd be the first to say if it was the opposite, I would be the first to say, maybe it's the New Jersey in me that blankety blank can't tell the truth if his life depended on it. But I'm telling you, and my radar's pretty good for BS, maybe coming from that part of the country. But yeah, everything he has said to me in person, on the phone, whatever. A+ across the board.
Well, you're not the only one that said that to me. I haven't had a chance to meet him personally, but I was also spending time with Ray and his wife Darren, and I asked him a similar question. Tell me about this guy at the top. Tell me about Stuart Gray. And he said the exact same thing. He's a person of his word. He's a person of integrity. He's a person that if he says he's going to do something, no matter what, he does it one way or another, and that means a lot to me, and I hope that means a lot to you in the audience as well. That's what you want at the top, leader. And so let's move on to number 4. Okay, now I'll recap. One of the things you need is the company has to have money, right? Got to have money. Needs to have great products. We got that. Check. Got to have great people, and it starts at the top. So there's 3 checks. Now let's talk about something that it's my secret weapon. It's the thing that when I kind of look for it, and I don't tell anyone I'm looking for it, but when I see it, I know it, I feel it, and that's what's happening right now, and that is timing. It's got to be the right time for this type of products and services to actually make a big splash in the world, because it doesn't matter how great, doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter even if you have the best people in the world and the best products in the world, if it's not the right time for these products, you have a really tough time of making it. And folks, hemp and CBD has never been more in demand than it is right now. It has never been in the news more than it is right now. Even though it's been around for 8,000 years, never has it been as big of a topic as it is right now. Do you know that of the 50 states, 42 of the 50 states have a bill or something on the ballot in regards to hemp and cannabis and or CBD? 46 states have it on the ballot for November. And so that's top of mind, folks, and that's timing. And so when you go to a health food store, you see hemp in every single store. You see it in ways that you never imagined. It used to just be you'd get some hemp seeds in there you could throw in your salad, and maybe there was a T-shirt made of hemp. Now they got hemp everything. They got hemp oils. They got hemp pills. They got hemp milk. They got hemp water. They got hemp everything there because, I went to a Better Buzz. I'm just going to say it was a coffee shop, one of the new modern-day coffee shops, and I looked on the board, the chalkboard, and they write the cool things on there, and it said, you can have a smoothie or you can have a smoothie with hemp. Guess what I chose, and guess what most people chose? Just add hemp to something, and it turns it into super healthy. And so the timing is perfect. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to go right past that. I'm going to go right to something that we talked about yesterday, and that's the 5th thing that needs to be in place, and that is we've got to have a good compensation plan and a company that will pay on that compensation plan consistently, and it has to be easy. And tell us about your feelings about the compensation plan, David.
Great overview on timing for sure. Regarding the pay plan, in my somewhat expert opinion, I think it's the most generous plan I have seen in my many years in this profession. Important, if not more important, I think it's the most fair compensation plan my many years in this profession, fair for all parties involved, not just the select few. I don't care whether you're devoting 10 to 15 hours a day or 10 to 15 hours a week to this business, especially if you make those hours matter and you make them count and you're consistent about being consistent. This pay plan, nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to, be stuck with a garage full of anything and turn their home into a mini version of Costco. Most of the bonuses are paid weekly. Some are paid monthly. My God, there's still companies out there that still pay once a month. I think that's one notch below waterboarding, in my opinion. I think with today's technology, you can pay people a lot quicker than you used to. But the numbers, the fairness, there's not a ton of obstacles and, hoops you got to jump over or through. And, the thing is, Charles, and you know this real quick, most people, the masses, are the part-timers, the spare-timers. Some want to remain that way from here on out. That's wonderful. They have a home here with us. Eventually, some want to go full steam ahead. They have a home here with us, too. We never tell anybody to quit their day job or anything like that. But the thing is, it's got to be fair for the majority, which are the masses, which are the part-timers and spare-timers. So if it's not fair for those people who are putting in limited time and limited effort, if they can't prosper with that effort and time, then those who are doing this morning, noon, and night are going to be all dressed up and no place to go if everybody else is failing. That's not going to happen here. The plan is just too darn fair. It's too darn generous. And one of the few guarantees I tell people, prospects, of course, are the only ways, plural, to fail with Laguna Blends is to either quit or keep it a secret. As long as you don't do those two things, eventually, some sooner for others, it'll come, success will come faster for some than others. Eventually you're going to hit your goals and aspirations, and because this pay plan, there's no other alternative, because it's that fair and it's that generous for all parties involved.
Well said, folks. I'm going to end the call with just a little bit on that. David, I appreciate your wisdom, your intelligence, your eloquence. Very, very well stated on my questions, and that's why we spent so much time last night together. I just was picking your brain and just
deja vu all over again.
So, one of the things that you talked about on the compensation plan, and one of the things that we talked about last night was this statement here, folks. Ever since day one, which is well before 5 months ago when they did their official launch, ever since day one when there was actually a way that someone could buy products here at Laguna Blends, they have paid on time every time since day one. And David even shared with me that there would be a handwritten check from Stuart Gray himself. It'd be a handwritten
that was
check.
In the old days.
Right? To him. It just to make sure it got paid on time all the way up until now. We have customer service and direct deposit. There's nothing better than waking up in the morning and kind of checking your bank account, wanting to know if you have a few bucks in there, and then finding out that you have, that someone has made a deposit into your account from the company you've been just enjoying their products and sharing it part-time, and there's an extra $200, $300, $400 in your account. There's nothing better than that. And then as that thing grows, you start waking up earlier on the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month, because you know that there's a big chunk that's going to get dropped in there, and that's when you start waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning to check your bank account to see how things are looking. There's nothing more exciting than that. And folks, what is important to me as a professional in this industry is that there's never been a time when we or you, because you've been here longer than me, a lot of you, there's never been a time when you didn't get paid the day that you said that you were supposed to get paid. And I can already tell you that I know many people that got surprised by getting paid days early instead of the day that they thought they were going to get paid. And that is so important to a company. You know how many times I've seen companies. Okay, I'll even say it. I've been in companies that it's payday, and all you get is an email that says due to a banking issue, due to a banking issue, we're not going to be able to pay for another 3 days. You know what they're doing? They're trying to raise the money so they can pay the simple things like payroll and people's commissions and all that. And that's a tough road. For me, it's a tough road. And here at Laguna Blends, because of that number one thing, we have money. We're publicly traded. And there's a lot of eyes on us right now. Paying on time is paramount to growing a large organization. When I talk to people that have teams of tens of thousands of people, the first thing they're going to ask me is, do they pay on time? They're going to ask me that because they've all been through it before. I'm so proud of this company right now. I'm proud of the leadership. I'm proud of you in this company, David, and the other leaders that I've talked to here, and I can't wait to learn more from you guys and also share a little bit of the wisdom that I've received over the years, and I'm going to give it all out. I'm giving it all to you. All the things I've learned how to sell, all the things I've learned how to share this product. I've already been part of some videos that are now going to start getting circulated tomorrow on YouTube for where we got interviewed, and Sherry got interviewed, and these are professional, beautiful grade, commercial grade videos that you are now going to be able to send out, and people, you're going to be proud of what you see and what you hear, and it's going to really start to resonate. Get ready, folks, because people all around the world are going to start talking about Laguna Blends, and you are an essential part of this movement that's happening. The hemp revolution, the hemp lifestyle is coming back, and you're part of it. And I thank you all for being on this call. We didn't lose one person. You hear that, David?
Wow.
Every person that was on the call is still
no
on the
refunds.
call.
That's good.
They're just now dropping off. So thank you all. We'll see you on Monday, and we'll see you all, of course, on the beaches of the world. Thanks again. Talk to you later.
Thank you.